This week, Inside Michigan Hockey, we'll visit with head coach Red Berenson as Michigan prepares for a road series against Miami. The smallest Wolverine is stepping up his goal production. We'll tell you who that is and what does senior Greg Patterin want to do after he hangs up the skates. Find out next on Inside Michigan Hockey. I'm Doug Karsh at Yost Ice Arena, and this is Inside Michigan Hockey. The Wolverines coming off a split with Western Michigan this past weekend, and they travel to Oxford, Ohio, always a tough place to play, to take on a Miami team that was considered going into this season one of the best in the CCHA.
And they play it up to DeBlois. Now to Mac Bennett. He moves in, shoots, score! It's all tied!
Michigan had its 20-game home win streak ended last Friday night when the Broncos broke a 2-2 tie with just 57 seconds remaining in the third period.
Here's a shot tipped out in front. A loose puck. And Hunwick goes in the goal! It goes in the goal. I don't know how it got there, but it got there.
Michigan's power play converted on 2 of 5 chances Saturday night as the Wolverines scored 4 unanswered goals to finish the game and earn a series split 5-2. Derek DeBlois, Alex Guptill, Mac Bennett, AJ Trias, and Kevin Lynch scored for Michigan. Shawn Hunwick made 30 saves and won his 7th game of the season. Overall, are you pleased with the Western Series?
Well, we're more pleased with the way it ended than the way it started. And, that Friday night game is huge. And when you get behind a team like that, now I like the way we came back in the second period. And I thought we were much the better team at that point, but we couldn't put them away. And in the third period, they got back in the game. And, when you give up a last-minute goal to be the winning goal, and kind of a sloppy goal, not so much on their part, but on our part, came off a defensive zone face-off, and it's just hard to swallow. So the Friday night game was tough. Our team played hard. We played really well at times, but we didn't have anything to show for it.
There were 2 goals they got in that game, kind of weird scrambles out in front. One looked like it deflected off one of your guys. Are those that you look back on and you say, well, that was bad luck, or is that getting outworked in your opinion?
Well, it's a little bit of both, and it's an unearned goal, and you just hate to give up an unearned goal. Teams are good enough, they're going to score the odd good goal, and if they deserve to, but that's one thing. But if you give it to them or you allow them to score an unearned goal, goals are too precious, Doug, in games against good teams. You've got to really take care of business defensively because it's hard to score goals.
How about Mac Bennett giving you a couple of goals this weekend?
Well, it was a great weekend for Mac, and he's one of those players that's really improved over last year, and he's playing in our top defensive pair most nights. He's jumping up in the play. You can see the kid, he can fly, and he showed that this weekend.
Alex Guptill, too, stepped up at the beginning of this year, got another goal for you this weekend. This is a freshman that I don't know if you expected this much out of him right away.
Well, you never know what you're going to get with these freshmen, but he has definitely come in and played higher than a lot of people thought he would, and played better and been a productive player and scored some key goals for us. But that power play goal was huge the other night when he was in front of the net, and then coming off the boards, he created Derek DeBlois' goal. So good for him.
Interesting sequence with Shawn Hunwick at the end of the first period. Almost gets an assist on a pass to AJ and then has to make a save at the horn right at the end of the first period.
Unbelievable. Like, he came out and he saw AJ wide open. He threw the puck up hard, I think to Di Giuseppe, who got it to AJ, walked in on a breakaway, and hardly before he got back to the net, they were coming at us 3-on-1. Had to make it literally a game-saving save in the last seconds of the first period.
Well, AJ Trias is one of the Wolverines that's off to a pretty good start, leading the way with 6 goals for Michigan. You're putting the puck in the net this year. How's it going?
It's going well. I think I've got a few lucky bounces, but it's good to get a few goals in the beginning. It's tough to get that first one, then when you get rolling, it's even better.
You've always been a guy who's had great hands. You make great moves. You make great passes. This year it's a little different as you're finishing plays. You say it's lucky bounces, but it's got to be more than that.
Yeah, Coach is kind of tamed me down a little bit. I used to be trying to do too much, but now I'm just trying to get some pucks on net. And they're going in.
Given your hands, is the shootout one of your favorite parts of the game? You won a game for Michigan with the shootout earlier.
Yeah, when we do it in practice, I never score, so I don't know why Coach picked me, but it worked out for that game, so luckily.
Talk about Tria's season so far.
Well, he was a player that we expected to step up this year. You know, he's been a player that's played a little bit under the radar. We all know he can be a special player, and I think now AJ has found that out, and he's starting to play like that special player. Now he's a junior; he's just starting to come into his own.
Coming up, we'll have more with Red Berenson. Claire Stachel has the story of Michigan's only senior defenseman, and a couple of Wolverines were honored by the CCHA. Find out who when Inside Michigan Hockey continues on mgoblue.com.
Welcome back to Inside Michigan Hockey. What the fans here at Yost Ice Arena do know about Greg Pattern is he is a very offensive-minded defenseman. What they don't know about Greg is...
I went to Brother Rice High School in Birmingham, Michigan. I played lacrosse there starting as a freshman. It was my first year, and I really enjoyed it. And I wanted to play lacrosse in college, but I decided hockey was a little better for me, and it was just where my heart was. I didn't really graduate from Brother Rice. I left my senior year to go play in Columbus, and I went to a private school down there. Met some really great people at St. Francis de Sales. My major is movement science, and after hockey's done, I plan to go to medical school.
Many of Greg's family members work in the medical field, including his mom.
I want to work in sports medicine because I've obviously played sports my whole life, and being able to help people in that field is just something that I've wanted to do since I was younger.
But medical school will have to wait until his hockey career ends, and the sky's the limit when it comes to Pattern's future. He was a fifth-round draft pick of the NHL's Toronto Maple Leafs in 2008 and was traded to the Montreal Canadiens. Playing pro hockey is the last thing Greg's thinking about these days.
I like how together we are, and everyone's really on the same page this year. I think in years past, you've had those one or two guys that are on their own page, but I think everyone's really on the same page this year. As far as having the same goals, going out no matter what happens, whatever's good for the team.
Greg Pattern helped lead the Wolverines to the national championship game last season. Unfortunately, we know what happened in that game. This year, he is looking to lead them back to that final game and win it in his final season.
Every time I think about that, it leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. And now we know what it's like to be there, and hopefully we'll be able to know what it's like to win that game this year.
At Yost Arena for Inside Michigan Hockey, I'm Claire Stachel.
Thanks, Claire. A couple of Wolverines have been honored by the CCHA. Freshman Phil DiGiuseppe was named Rookie of the Month after he scored 5 goals and added 4 assists in October. Fifth-year senior Shawn Hunwick was named Goalie of the Month after he won 6 games with 1 shutout. Hunwick posted a 1.37 goals against average.
When you play 6 games at home, though, to start, it's a little bit easier than when you have to go on the road. So yeah, it was a nice start to the season. Obviously you want to start well, but it doesn't mean anything, after that month's over. So
you guys had a lot of turnover this year. Are you happy with the teams playing in front of you?
Yeah, I think everyone's playing well. I mean, the freshmen are coming in and contributing early. I think a lot of people didn't know a lot about this class, but there's proven to be some really good players in this class.
You got a lot of young defensemen. Do you find you're moving them around a lot? Are you like in command back there, telling them what to do?
It's funny. I mean, we went out on 1 PK and I realized it was 2 freshmen and 2 sophomores out there. I just, I looked at myself. I was like, man, I'm just way too old for this stuff. I mean, these guys got fresh legs. So, no, they're doing well. They know what to do. I mean, they're all really good, experienced college hockey players. So, I mean, yeah, they're doing well.
One final thing. Did Tracey ruin your assist on Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, I think I ended up getting an assist, but I could have had a multi-point game, which would have been nice. Giving the boys, a little bit of crap. I'm had Kevin Clare right now assists, so trying to move up there a little bit.
Welcome back, Doug Karsh with Red Berenson, and let's talk about Miami on tap this weekend. They're a team that's always challenging for the league. They've gone to Frozen Fours, they've gone to national championship games, and you look in the standings and they're off to a 4-6 start. What do you see in Miami in the early going?
Well, I see a team that is struggling to prove how good they really are. They were supposed to be number 1 or number 2 in our league at the preseason polls, and I still think they could be. But nevertheless, these will be tough games. We remember our games down there last year, and we're going to have to play better this year. They've got great goalkeeping. They've got a huge senior class that knows what it takes. So they're not in a rebuilding mode at all. They're an experienced team, and we're going to have to go down and play our best hockey.
Michigan has a winning record against the Red Hawks in Oxford, but they won just 1 of 6 games at the new Steve Cady Arena. The last 4 series played between these college hockey powers have been sweeps, with Miami winning 3 of them, including last February. A.J. Trias scored 2 goals Friday night on his 20th birthday, giving the Wolverines a 2-1 lead, but Miami scored twice in the third period to win 4-2. And the Red Hawks shut out Michigan Saturday night 3-0. And they're coming off a trip to Alaska. Is that weekend following the trip to Alaska, can it be tough?
That can be, and we'll have to wait and see, but it can be, Doug. That can be a weekend where you just can't get zeroed in. You can't get your focus. And in the meantime, we can't worry about them. We respect them. We know how good they can be. We know they'll be ready for us.
What about your team? Points of emphasis this week as you get set for the Red Hawks?
Well, we've got to do a better job in some of the areas of the ice, and whether it's neutral zone, offensive zone forecheck, breaking out of our zone. And I thought we took a big step in special teams this week. Face-offs not so good. We've got to get better at that.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Good. Thanks, Doug.
That's going to do it for this edition of Inside Michigan Hockey. From Yost Ice Arena, I'm Doug Karsh for EmgoBlue.com.